My beloved child, the moment you are standing in today is not a coincidence. It is the result of a long preparation, woven by my hand through every step you have taken. I know that this transition may feel somewhat confusing to you. Perhaps you feel unready, but I declare to you that this is precisely the moment I appointed for you. Long before you took your very first breath, do not think that life is a series of random events without my orchestration or plan. Every trial you endure, every difficult step you take, is not a sign of your failure, but an opportunity I give you to rise stronger. Every pain you have suffered, every sleepless night you have endured, I have witnessed it all, and none of it is in vain. For I am using these experiences to refine you, to make you stronger and more resilient with each passing day. You have walked many paths, some of them dark, filled with hardship, but remember, those paths are not the end. They are merely bends in the road of your life, and I lead you through each one with a greater purpose. In the times when you feel lost, lonely, and weary, I know that I am preparing you to step into a new Seasana stage where you will no longer recognize the former version of yourself, for you will be transformed, renewed, and restored. Know this, every trial you face today has a clear purpose. I do not allow you to encounter any challenge you cannot overcome. I know the strength within you, that is why I permit you to walk through these tests. You must trust that nothing happens in your life outside of my watchful care. Even those things you deem the most difficult, those you think you cannot endure, I have a plan for them. A way for you to learn, to grow, and to rise above them. I have seen every tear you have shed, every moment when you felt exhausted and tempted to give up. But my child, each of those tears is a prayer. And every time you rise again after stumbling, I see the resilience within you. What you have gone through is not wasted. It is preparation for the great things to come. Do not look back any longer. Do not dwell on the pains of the past and allow them to wound you again. Look forward, look to what I am preparing for you. I want you to understand that this moment is not an ending, but a new beginning. The change you are undergoing is not the closing of a chapter of life you have known, but the opening of a new door, a door that you cannot yet see with your natural eyes, but one that will surely open before you, and you will walk through it not as your former self, but as the person I have destined you to be, strong, full of faith, prepared for the great challenges and blessings ahead. My beloved child, this transformation is a profound one. It does not merely arise from external circumstances, but from within you. You will no longer see the world through the old lens, nor will you be bound by the voices of the past. I will renew the way you perceive yourself, the way you view the world, and the way you face challenges. I will place within your heart a new faith, a new hope, and a level of trust you have never experienced before. As you step into this season, each of your steps will be anchored in confidence and trust in my guidance. Do not be afraid, for I have prepared everything. I am using every challenge to refine you, to make you more mature, stronger, and ready to receive the goodness I have prepared. Never think that the difficult days you are going through are without value. They will become precious stones, irreplaceable pieces in the perfect masterpiece I am painting upon your life. I know that you are feeling anxious about what lies ahead. You may not see the path clearly before you, but remember this, I am the one guiding you. Each step will be directed by me, and every challenge will become a leap that brings you closer to the blessings I have prepared. You need not fear what is to come, for I am with you. I will never abandon you in your hardest moments, and I will never let you walk this journey alone. Stand firm in faith, for the time of transformation has come. You are stepping into a new phase, a new season that I have long prepared for you. And I promise you this, in this season, you will not only walk by faith, but also with clarity, understanding, and in the power of my Spirit. Believe in what I have spoken, and allow me to lead you through each step, each trial. My beloved child, as you walk through this moment, you are not merely entering a new season of life, you are stepping into a new version of yourself, one that I have seen from the very beginning, before you were even formed in your mother's womb. I am not simply changing what surrounds you, I am renewing the very core of who you are. You are no longer the person bound by the past, confined by fear, or weighed down by past failures. Now, I am inviting you to cast off those old layers and clothe yourself in the new garment I have fashioned, especially for you, a garment of honor, righteousness, and strength. I know there were times when you looked at your life and thought there was nothing significant about it. You wondered if anyone truly saw you, heard you, or cared for you in this vast world. But listen closely. My child, I have seen you. Not just a passing glance, but a gaze that penetrates from beginning to end, from your hidden dreams to your unspoken sorrows. And not only have I seen you, but I have loved you with an everlasting love, unconditional and unwavering. I have inscribed your name upon the palm of my hand. I have sketched the story of your life with strokes of deep meaning in the book of life. Therefore, when I say that you are stepping into a new phase, you must understand that what I am doing is not merely change, it is birth. I am not patching up the old to make something new. I am tearing down the old foundation to build an entirely new house. Each brick of this house will be laid with your faith, your trust, and your obedience. This house will not be built upon the sand of fleeting promises, but upon the rock of the sacred covenants between you and me. It will be the place where I dwell, where my name is glorified, and where your life will reflect my light in a clear and radiant way. You will begin to sense this transformation even before your eyes can behold it. Deep within you, something has already begun to stir. A strange stillness amidst the daily noise, a peace that does not come from the mind, but from a deeper place where my spirit dwells. I have not come merely to make you feel better. I have come to transform you from within, to liberate you from old patterns, to awaken you from the weariness of years spent chasing human approval. My child, I know you are weary. I know you have tried to change through your own strength. You have strived to live better, to do more, to love more, to forgive more. But today, I do not ask you to do anything more to earn my love. I simply invite you to enter into the rest that I give. Enter into my presence. Enter into the true identity I have placed within you. This is not a race to meet some standard. This is a journey of returning to the one who created you with purpose and for glory. My beloved, I have seen the things you do not speak of. I see you bracing yourself each day, trying to appear strong while inside you feel like collapsing. I see you smile while your heart is full of tears. But I also see much more: courage, perseverance, faith even, if small, that still clings to me. And because of these things, today I choose to renew you, not because you meet some human standard of worthiness, but because I love you too much to let you continue living in a fractured and weary spirit. You will no longer have to strive to be recognized. I have already recognized you. You will no longer need to prove your worth. Your worth does not come from what you do, but from the one who created you. I call you beloved, anointed, sent, and today, I invite you to walk in the freedom of that very identity. Do not let the past define you. Do not let others label you. Do not let old failures confine you within a narrow box. Allow me to fling wide the doors, to remove every chain, and to lead you into a spacious place where your tested faith will yield abundant fruit. My child, this is your gate. No one else can step through it on your behalf. I have given you the key, and that key is none other than obedience. Just one yes, and I will do the rest. Just a nod of your head, and I will clear the path. Do not fear. Do not turn back. On the other side of that gate lies not chaos, but clarity, not exhaustion, but restoration, not loneliness, but unity, and not disappointment, but glory that I will place upon your life, so that the world may know that I am the faithful God, and you are the living testimony of that truth. My beloved, the moment you have long awaited is drawing nearer than ever before. But what I desire most for you to understand is not the wonder of that moment itself, but the posture of your heart as you enter it. Many seek change, but few prepare their hearts to truly embrace the new. And now, I ask you this: when the gate opens, will you be ready to step forward without looking back? I know you have been wounded by abrupt changes in the past, relationships that ended without explanation, dreams that shattered mid-flight, promises you once trusted that seemed never to be fulfilled. These things have etched unseen scars upon your soul. But my child, do not let these sorrowful memories keep you from entering the season of blessing I have prepared. For all that has passed was never meant to hinder you, but to refine you, to prove that you are ready for what is to come. You are no longer the same person who once walked in doubt and fear. Now, you are one who has been chosen, refined, and anointed to rise. You may not realize it, but in the nights when you wept, in the moments when you felt lost and directionless, in the times when you knelt in prayer, unable to utter a word, those were the moments when I was quietly building strength within you. And now, that strength is rising like the dawn breaking through the night. It does not come with thunder or grand gestures, but as a gentle breeze, soft yet powerful. It is the voice of faith, of hope, of unwavering trust in me, even when nothing yet seems clear. My child, once you pass through this gate, the most important thing is this: do not look back. There are those, like Lot's wife, who could not let go of the past, and that one longing glance turned her into a pillar of salt, unable to move forward. But I did not create you to be a symbol of regret. I formed you to be a light set ablaze, a pioneer, a voice that will open the way for a generation longing to see my hand at work. You have come too far to turn back. You have sown too many tears to give up. You have believed too deeply to retreat to a place of safety. What I am about to do through you will reveal why certain doors once remained closed, why certain rejections cut so deep, and why I had you wait so long. Because what you are about to step into is not a fleeting reward, but an eternal gift. Not a temporary glitter, but an everlasting sun that never fades. You will begin to see signs. It may come through an unexpected encounter, a door you thought was closed, suddenly opening, a confirmation from someone with whom you never shared a word. But above all, the greatest sign will be the change within you. You will no longer react as you once did, no longer tremble as before, no longer question your worth. For now, you know who you are in me. You know to whom you belong. And when one knows their true identity in me, no circumstance can shake them. Remember Job. who lost everything. Yet in the end, I blessed him with twice as much. But that increase did not come through argument or striving, but through humble surrender. You are at that very moment now, where what I seek from you is not strategy, nor strength, but a heart fully surrendered. Surrender to me, not because you understand everything, but because you trust that I am faithful. Do not let the fear of change cause you to turn back. Do not let the familiar hold you captive in a golden cage of the past. What I am about to do through you will be unlike anything else. And you will see. The very things that once caused you to be rejected will be what I set apart to distinguish you. The things that once caused misunderstanding will be what I sanctify to become your greatest tools of influence. So rise up. My child, the gate is open. The old self has been stripped away. A new destiny awaits. Step forward without fear, without hesitation, without turning back. For I am going before you, and soon you will see everything I have promised. I will fulfill completely. And this new season is not merely a change in circumstance, but a transformation of your very destiny. Be ready. This is your hour. My beloved child, have you ever wondered why, at the most decisive moments of your life, you seem to hear nothing? Why? When you kneel in prayer and wait, the heavens remain strangely silent? Why? In the midst of your earnest pleas for change, your tears seem to fall into an empty void with no response. My child, today I will open a new perspective for you to understand. My silence is not absence, but a sign of a deeper preparation than you have ever imagined. There are times when heaven seems most silent, yet it is precisely then that heaven is working most profoundly. When you see no movement outwardly, it is because an entire spiritual system is being restructured within. It is like a seed resting quietly in the soil. No one sees it sprouting, but beneath the surface, tiny roots are pushing downward. Cells are bursting with life. You do not hear it, but life is unfolding. You do not see it with your eyes, but an entire ecosystem is transforming, and so it is with you. My child, during the days that seem devoid of change, I have done many things for you. I have closed doors that were not meant for you. Even when you did not understand at the time, I have allowed certain relationships to drift away not because they were evil, but because they could not accompany the new vision I am about to give you. I have led you through seasons of quiet, not to punish, but to purify your mind and refine your faith. I have hidden you away for a season to prepare you for another, where you will not only receive but also be sent forth. Do you remember when Mary received the message from the angel that she would bear the Savior? After that extraordinary moment, the angel departed. No more miracles followed. There were no angelic choirs singing daily, no voices from heaven reminding her each morning. Just a young woman, carrying within her a divine life, walking by faith. For 9 months, heaven appeared silent. Yet the greatest miracle in human history was growing within her day by day. The salvation of all humanity was present, yet there were no trumpets or dazzling lights. It was silent, sacred, holy, yet filled with power. Likewise, you are carrying something from heaven within you. A promise, a calling, a divine confirmation. And perhaps now, everything around you feels so quiet. There is no obvious change, no applause. No one understands the magnitude of what you carry. But understand this, not everything significant must be loud. There are miracles that can only grow in stillness. There are great things that can only mature in hiddenness. And I, Your God, am the master of working in unseen ways to prepare what will one day be undeniable to all. Do not let the silence of a season deceive you. Do not let feelings of loneliness make you believe I have abandoned you. Remember this, the enemy always attacks the hardest, those who are pregnant with something sacred, not because they see your future clearly, but because they sense the shift drawing near, the confusion you feel, the weariness in your spirit, the unspoken inner restlessness. None of this is accidental. It is a signal. The heavens are moving, and I am bringing you out of the old into something completely new. Can you feel it? Even if only faintly. Your spirit is trembling with the awareness that something divine is coming. You may not be able to describe it, but every cell within you stirs with anticipation. A longing beyond reason. That is me. That is my presence drawing near. I do not need a whirlwind or a blazing fire to affirm my presence. Sometimes I come as a breath, a gentle touch upon the heart, a verse of scripture that flickers into your mind, and these alone are enough to usher in a new season. My child, this is the truth. The silence you are experiencing is not an empty void, but the beginning of a great movement. A series of wonders is being aligned. Promises once thought to be asleep are now stirring. Doors I once held back are now being unlatched. And even though you can see nothing beyond the dim veil of the present, I am preparing to unveil for you a future far beyond your imagination. Do not fear the darkness, for even in the blackest night, I am sketching the dawn that is soon to break. Now, be still. Guard your heart. Hold fast to your faith, for the heavens are shifting, and you, yes, you are standing right at the threshold of an eternal gate. My child, there was a time when you thought the promises I once gave you had passed. Wasn't there? You wondered if perhaps you misunderstood, if perhaps you had dreamed too big, if what I spoke to you was merely a fleeting emotion. But today, I come to tell you this: not one word from my mouth falls to the ground in vain. What I have spoken, I will fulfill. What I have sown into your soul like a seed, I, myself, will cause to blossom at the right season, at the appointed time. You must understand this. Promises do not always bloom under ideal conditions. Sometimes they take root in the wilderness. Sometimes they lie buried deep in the dark. Sometimes you yourself forget that you ever received them. But I have never forgotten. I have engraved them upon the palm of my hand, etched them upon my heart, and preserved them within a divine plan that surpasses your understanding. At times, in order to awaken a promise, I must allow you to walk through a long season of waiting, not to punish you, but to prepare you, for there are gifts that can only be received with hands that have learned to release. There are destinies that can only be embraced with a heart that has learned to trust. Do you remember Abraham? He was given the promise of descendants as numerous as the stars, yet he had to wait nearly a lifetime to see that promise fulfilled. In that waiting, he too lost his way at times. He tried to force the fulfillment by his own strength. He doubted himself and even laughed at the promise, for it seemed too impossible. But I, the Lord his God, did not change. I remained faithful to my covenant, and in the appointed time, I caused Sarah, who was thought too old to bear children, to become the mother of a generation of promise. And you, my child, are the same. Perhaps you have doubted. Perhaps you have questioned whether that dream truly came from me. Perhaps you have grown too weary to keep hoping. But today, I tell you, that promise is still alive. It is not dead. It is merely sleeping. And I, myself not, another will awaken it. I am stirring the things you thought were buried. I am shining light into the corners of your soul you once closed off in pain. You do not need to understand it all. You only need to be ready to believe again. There are things you wrote in your journal years ago, things you once called vision, calling, the mission of your life, and over time, life's demands have covered them in dust. You became busy with the cares of life. You were caught up in responsibilities. You faced disappointments, and gradually, you let them slip into forgetfulness. But I have not forgotten. Even now, I am breathing new life into those old pages. I am using the fire of my spirit to rekindle the torch that once burned brightly within you. You thought it was too late, but I say it is not. You believed the opportunity had passed you by, but I say I am making all things new. You assumed you were no longer fit, but I say this is the very moment you are more prepared than ever before. A promise from me carries no expiration date. It holds within it the perfect timing for its fulfillment. For this to unfold, your heart must be made ready. Cleanse your inner being. Remove limiting beliefs. Cast off the lies that have shadowed your mind. I do not give promises so that you would hear them and walk away in sorrow. I give them to lead you into transformation. Remember what I have spoken. Believe it again. Declare it aloud. Within every promise lies the very seed of life. When you proclaim it, it awakens. When you pray, it moves. When you obey, it comes to pass. You will not only witness the fulfillment for yourself, but you will become a living testimony to those around you that God is faithful to His word. You will encourage those whose hearts have lost hope. You will rekindle faith in those who have felt forgotten. What I am doing within you is not just for you, but for an entire generation that is watching, longing for hope, yearning to witness with their own eyes what they have only heard spoken from pulpits. Rise up, my child. Dust off the old promises. Reclaim the vision you once laid aside. Let me ignite once more the flame within your heart. For my word never fails, and you are about to enter a season where what I have spoken will begin to shine in your life like an unstoppable dawn. My beloved, as you wait for the fulfillment of the promise, know this: I am not merely preparing external circumstances for you. I am transforming you from within. You may have thought that faith was about waiting for something to happen outwardly, but true faith begins when you allow me to work in the deepest places your soul, your mind, your heart. Now is the time to understand, before I change the story. I always change the one who will carry that story. Before I expand your territory, I enlarge your heart. Before I pour out new blessings, I empty the old. I do not pour new wine into old wineskins, not because I withhold, but because the old wineskins would burst and what is precious would be lost. So when you feel stretched, stripped, orundone, this is not punishment, it is reconstruction. I am inviting you to view yourself through the lens of mercy. Re-examine the beliefs you have carried have, some of them been shaped by wounds, failures, or scarcity. Are there places within you that have learned to shrink back, to self-protect, to avoid further pain? But, my child, I did not create you to live in fear or contraction. I did not call you merely to survive. I created you to reflect my glory. And such glory cannot be contained in a heart closed off by fear and doubt. Let me reshape you. Do not resist the process, even when it feels disorienting. Just as Joseph was transformed from a young dreamer into a leader who would save an entire nation, that are you being prepared for a role beyond your current capacity? Joseph was sold, misunderstood, forgotten, Imprisoned, yet none of these things invalidated the promise I had placed over his life. Rather, these trials refined him, purified his motives, taught him forgiveness, taught him stewardship, taught him to trust me even in the darkness. So when I brought him out of prison, it was because I knew he was ready to step into the throne I had long prepared for him. And so it is with you. Every silent season you have endured, every rejection you have faced, every misunderstanding you have carried quietly, none of it has been in vain. I am refining you, stripping away false identities, removing what is no longer needed for the season to come. For what I am preparing to place in your hands, the doors, the connections, the far-reaching words will require an inner person who is deep, steady, and true. You have often wondered why others seem to receive so easily, while you must wait, endure, and pay the price. My child, it is because your portion is greater. You are not called merely to receive blessings, but to carry influence, not just to bear witness, but to become the witness, not merely to live well, but to lead others out of the darkness. And such a role requires maturity, a maturity not born of books, but forged in the moments when you were crushed in loneliness, and then lifted by my own hand. Do not flee from this inner transformation. Allow me to soften your heart once again. Allow me to dismantle the fortresses of self-defense, the walls of control, the watchtowers of self-doubt. Let me pour into you humility to learn anew, wisdom to release what must be let go, and strength to step beyond the familiar. You are not called to dwell in a golden cage of comfort. You are called to fly. And to fly, you must learn to shed the burdens. This is not a reshaping from the outside in. This is a deep uprooting from within. You will begin to think differently, to love differently, to speak differently, to live differently. Not because you strive to do so, but because you surrender. Not because you force it, but because you open your heart. And then, my beloved child, the world will see a person reshaped by the very one who created the universe. A person no longer imprisoned by the past, no longer confined by circumstance, but led by the living Spirit. True transformation always begins from within. And once you are changed, no one will be able to deny what I am doing. The greatest testimony will not come from your lips, but from your life itself. Let me complete this work in you, for you were never meant to be a small part. You are an essential piece in my eternal plan, and the time for your revealing begins now right here, within you. My child, it is time for you to understand that not every moment in life holds the same weight. There are moments sealed by heaven, pivotal moments where, if you seize them, destiny itself will shift. And now, you are stepping into such a moment, a season that cannot be delayed, a day that cannot be postponed, a transformation written before time began. You are no longer standing at the edge of transition. You are in its very center. You are not merely standing at the brink of something new. You have already begun to step into the promised land. And every step you take now is no longer just a personal journey, but the stride of one who carries glory, one who moves in rhythm with the heartbeat of heaven. Yes, appointed times do not wait for the hesitant. When the sun rises on what may seem like an ordinary day, in the spirit realm, it marks a season long prepared by the angels. Things that were once delayed will now be accelerated. Promises that were once postponed will now begin to be fulfilled. No more interruptions. No more bondage. The cycles that once drew you back to old places will be broken. Doors that once slammed shut before you will now swing open, not by your effort, but because my powerful hand has touched the hinges of time. You once asked, when and now? I say to you, right now. Do you not see it? My child, the changes happening around you are no longer random. Everything is shifting because my decree has been activated. When I awaken the appointed time, the heavens must respond. When I call your name into a new role, everything around you will realign itself to match that word. And because of this, some relationships will break not because you have failed, but because I am clearing the space for more divine connections. Some sources of provision will cease because you have lost favor, but because I am redirecting the supply from a higher place. Certain doors will close permanently, not because you are unworthy, but because that is no longer the path I intend for you to walk. My child, spiritual transition always brings tangible effects in the physical world. When a woman is about to give birth, the contractions become more frequent and intense. The pain is not a sign of death, but a sign that life is coming forth. What you are sensing, the struggle, the inner tension, the inexplicable shaking is a clear sign. You are passing through the birth canal. Something new is being born. A new version of you is being revealed. No longer the old self worn down by fear, limitations, and the past, but one who knows who they are in me, who knows where they belong, and who knows what I have destined for their life. In the past years, you often felt as though you had fallen off heaven's map. There were days when you felt left behind, like one arriving late to a spiritual parade. But the truth is this: you were never lost. You were being prepared. I allowed you to remain hidden not because I forgot you, but because I concealed you so that the enemy could not reach you too soon. Just as Moses was hidden in a basket upon the water, just as David was overlooked in the fields, just as Esther was quietly prepared in the palace, so too have I kept you for this very time. And now, the veil has been lifted. The hallway of waiting has brought you to the threshold of release. You no longer need to fight for your place. I am positioning you. You no longer need to strive for a voice. I will put my words on your lips. You no longer need to defend yourself, for I, the Lord your God, rise to defend you. Do not look at yourself to determine what I can do. Look to me, the one who can do immeasurably more than all you ask or imagine. The time has come. Heaven's clock is never out of sync. The earth is shifting at my command. And you, my beloved child, are being placed in the right position, at the right time, for a mission no one else can fulfill. So, step forward in faith. Walk forward in authority. Do not look back. What is behind is only the shell. What lies ahead is glory. My child, do you know what makes a change of season so powerful? It is not because it happens suddenly, but because it comes after a long season where it seemed as though nothing was changing. Those who enter the new season with great strength are the ones who have been refined in the quiet place, where there was no applause, not cheering, only a deep, sincere commitment to me. And you are one of them. I know there have been days when you asked yourself, Lord, where am I going? Why does it seem that the more I pray, the more doors close before me? But today, I come to reveal to you a divine truth. My silence is never my absence. It is a part of the preparation process. You are not forgotten. You are being refined. You are not being delayed. You are being deepened. Those years that seemed like abandonment were in fact the years when I was teaching you to hear my voice in the wind, to trust when there was no evidence in your hands, and to cling to the promise even when you were unsure if it was still alive. I allowed you to walk through the darkness not so that you would fall, but so that you might learn to see the light from within. For there are those who only see me when all is well. But I desire that you see me even in the midst of the storm. And you have done just that. You are not perfect, but you have been faithful. You have not always been strong, but you did not run away. You do not understand everything, but you have held onto my hand. And this, my child, is worth more to me than 1,000 empty promises. Now, the season of preparation has reached its moment of affirmation. Every scar you carry, every tear you have shed, every night you knelt in the secret place, all have been recorded in my book. And I, the one who sees all and hears all, am now rising to glorify my name through your life. You will no longer need to speak to be heard. I will position you where your words will carry weight, not because you sought attention, but because I have chosen you as a vessel of life, not because you are more capable than others, but because I saw your heart when no one else did. You once thought, if only I stood out more, if only I had been recognized sooner. But do you not know? If it had come too early, you would have lost yourself. I hid you because I was preparing you for something that light alone cannot produce, but only the depths of darkness can forge. The ones I use most powerfully are those who were once hidden deeply. The ones I trust to carry my glory are those who have been misunderstood, forgotten, and who once felt too small for anything great. But now, you are no longer in the shadows. I am bringing you into the light, and this unveiling will not come through campaigns you orchestrate, but from my own hand. It is I who will open your mouth. It is I who will lead you. It is I who will connect you with doors, with people, with lands already prepared. And this unveiling is not for your praise, but so that my name may be exalted through one who is willing to say, let your will be done, whether I understand or not. Oh, this is no longer a season where you must prove yourself. This is the season where I affirm you. You no longer need to argue with others about your worth. You no longer need to convince people that you have changed. The transformation within you will speak for itself. The light within you will cause the darkness to retreat without the need for explanations. What I am doing within you will resound so powerfully that the enemy will not be able to pretend it is unseen. Walk in peace, my beloved child, for this unveiling is not to expose you to harm, but to display my glory. You have dwelled long enough in the hidden place, and now I am leading you forth not as one hoping to be chosen, but as one already sealed by heaven itself. My child, now as I unveil you before the world, there is one thing you must remember. The unveiling is not the destination, but the beginning. It is not the peak of glory, but the start of a greater mission, a haute responsabilité, a deeper part of your destiny that I have engraved in your soul from the very beginning. Do not let the new light make you forget the darkness that once covered you. Do not let the recognition of men cause you to forget the times when I comforted you in the silent night. For if the light outside becomes greater than the steadfastness within, you will once again be easily swayed. But I have taught you in the secret place. I have refined you in the absence of fame. Now, I will clothe you with power, but I will also place my hand upon your shoulder to keep your heart in a posture of humility. You are not called to make a name for yourself. You are called to be a living testimony of a God who still chooses the despised things to accomplish the impossible. I will bring you to places where the influential are waiting to hear your voice, no because you are more worthy, but because I want them to witness what I can do through a yielded vessel. My child, always remember this. Light is only useful when it shines in the right place. Therefore, I will lead you. Not every place that is brightly lit is a place I am sending you to. Not every invitation is a divine calling. Not every open door is from me. Some doors are open to test your faithfulness. Others are meant to try your perseverance. Only the doors I open with my own hand will lead to abundant life without regret. You must learn to walk with discerning ears. There will come a time when praises will be mingled with temptations. There will be voices that sound spiritual but are not from my spirit. And only when you remain close to me will you be able to distinguish between what is true and what is false. You are not called to chase after fame, but to pursue my presence. When you choose me above all rewards, I will give you things far beyond what you have ever asked for. Exposure is not a reward, it is a doorway into a new stage of your journey with me. You will not only receive recognition, but you will also have to carry boldness. You will not only hear, "Well done," but you will also face trials, doubts, and at times, opposition. But do not fear, for I have not called you out to leave you there. I will give you words in due season. I will place in you an unshakable peace. I will show you what to hold on to and what to release. I will be present in every decision you make if you allow me to guide you. You will find yourself speaking what others remain silent about. You will find yourself standing in places where once you were rejected, and that is precisely why I have chosen you, not to be like the world, but to bring something different. The light you carry is not merely to shine, but to break chains. The voice you have is not just to speak, but to proclaim truth. And your steps will not simply walk, they will tread upon territories the enemy thought he had claimed forever. My child, do not fear stepping into the season of exposure, for if you walk with me, you will never lose your way. This is not your hour, but the hour of my name through your life. This is not the time for you to prove yourself, but the time for you to let me reveal myself. And when you do, the things you once dreamed of will become reality, not because of your striving, but because of your full surrender. My beloved, as you enter this heavenly transition, it is not only your soul that will arise, but everything around you will begin to bear witness. The lamp of your spirit will burn brightly, not only for you to see, but so that others will know something is happening. Heaven is no longer still. Angels have been dispatched. The gates of the heavens are opening like the grand gates of the celestial city. Things once thought closed are suddenly unfolding. Promises once believed forgotten are now being recalled through both outward signs and inward stirrings. I say to you, do not be bewildered. Recognize that these are not random disruptions in your life. This is a movement that has already been revealed in heaven. Just as Enoch walked with me until I took him into eternity, and his soul moved in rhythm with the pulse of heaven. So now, when the appointed year arrives and the flow of time shifts according to a divinely ordained moment, I stir the heavens into motion. The seasons operate like a conductor, signaling an orchestra, and the souls of the chosen begin to resonate in harmony. The transition you are sensing is not an illusion. It is a sign. I am reordering things, breaking cycles, and restoring what has been stolen. Doors are being opened for you to enter into what you once only dreamed of. Just as Jacob saw the heavenly ladder with angels ascending and descending, now I am opening a pathway from the spiritual realm directly into your physical world. Do not evaluate this by the external turbulence. The true transition begins within. When your soul responds, heaven and earth will move in unison. Yet, my child, we do not think that this transition will come with perfect calm. True change always begins with a shaking. It is like the ground trembling before a fissure opens to reveal hidden treasures beneath. Old structures will begin to shake. Relationships that no longer align will feel constraining. Systems that once sustained you in a previous season will begin to stifle in the new one. This is not destruction, it is preparation. You must learn to discern your season. Just as the swallow knows when to migrate, your soul has already sensed the winds of change. It stirs you in the night. It makes you feel like a stranger in familiar places. It awakens a longing for something deeper, broader, and more powerful. This is not discontentment, it is an invitation from the heights of heaven, calling you to ascend to a new level, to a place where my presence is not merely something you feel, but something you live in. I have raised up voices around you, like beacons in the night, to confirm what I have whispered in your heart. I have allowed certain doors to close, not to punish you, but to protect you from paths that no longer lead to my will. I have permitted silence, not to cause you fear, but so that you might hear my voice more clearly. And now, I am shaking the heavens above you to open the way for the outpouring of blessings that is soon to come. This transition is not for your personal benefit alone. It is part of a greater work I am doing in the earth. Just as I called Abraham out of his homeland to establish a holy lineage, and as I summoned Moses up the mountain to receive the law for an entire nation, so today I am inviting you to step out of the familiar into consecration. Not everyone will understand your decision. Not all will walk with you. But do not look back. For those who are destined for this new season, I will align with you at the right time and in the right way. You are standing on the threshold between the old and the new, between what has been and what is coming, between the promise and its fulfillment. This is the moment when darkness will seek to sow doubt, and light will shine to reveal what is true. I call you to stand firm. Sink your roots deeper into my word. Let your spirit become attuned to the movements of my spirit. For this transition is not merely a destination, it is a process. And if you remain faithful in the small steps, I will lead you to places beyond what you have ever imagined. This is the moment for you not merely to live, but to live rightly, to live fully, with the understanding that heaven and earth are shifting to bring you into the place where destiny awaits. This is the hour of preparation, of consecration, and of unveiling. I am calling your name from among the crowd. I am marking you with a new anointing. I am breathing life into dreams you thought had withered. My child, the time of transition has come, and you are ready. Beloved, the outward transition is but a shadow of what I am accomplishing within you. Every shaking in your circumstances, every fracture in your relationships, every stirring in the place where you dwell, all of it originates from a divine call echoing within your soul. No one else can hear it as clearly as you, for it does not come through physical ears, but resounds from the deepest chambers of your spirit. It is a whisper, yet it carries the power to move destiny. It is an invitation, but also a command from heaven. Perhaps you have sensed this call in nameless dreams. Perhaps it slipped into those restless nights when your heart was unsettled for reasons you could not explain. Or perhaps it emerged in seemingly ordinary moments when a verse of scripture pierced your very marrow, when a glance brought a sudden ache to your heart, or when a stranger's words seemed to unlock something deep within you. My child, none of this is by chance. It is my knocking. It is an awakening. It is the first step into a journey from which there is no turning back. I am not calling you to simply improve the old version of yourself. I am calling you to be transformed, not to patch up the cracks, but to rebuild the very foundation, not to help you adapt to your surroundings, but to release you into the true purpose I have ordained for you. But this cannot happen unless you dare to look within, not with eyes of condemnation, but with a gaze full of truth and hope. You must be willing to let me shine light into the corners you have long avoided, for I do not fear the darkness. I am the light, and when the light comes, darkness cannot remain. My call will begin to melt away the shell you built around yourself from past wounds. It will peel away layers of doubt you have carried as a shield. It will shatter the false definitions others have placed upon you. This call will not thunder like a storm, but will fall gently, like rain upon parched earth, and yet that very rain will revive barren fields. This call will cause you to remember things you thought were forgotten, to resurrect dreams you believed were dead, to bring to life promises you once thought were not for you. Let me remind you, lasting change does not begin outwardly. It begins with belief. It begins when you say yes in your heart, even when no clear path is in sight. It begins when you kneel, not demanding answers, but simply to say, Father, here I am. This call from the depths will teach you to hear my voice amid the noise and to recognize my hand amid the chaos. There will be nights when you cannot explain why tears fall. There will be days when you cannot describe the emptiness that seems to reign within you. But in those very moments, you are being led back to the beginning, to a place where all that is false cannot remain, where you no longer live to please others, but to reflect the true image of the one who created you. I am removing the mask, not to shame you, but to heal you, not to show you how unworthy you are, but to reveal the true worth I have placed upon you. Beloved, know this, I do not call you with the roar of condemnation, but with the whisper of grace. I do not come to shame you, but to lift you up. But I need your honesty. I need your courage. I need you to stop running from yourself. For when you surrender before me, when you dare to look into the mirror of my word, you will not see one to be despised, but one being renewed. When you see yourself through my eyes, you will know you are not broken beyond repair. You are in the process of restoration. This is not the end. It is the beginning of a new life, a life birthed from the depths, where the divine call has touched the very core of your soul. True transition always begins within. It starts with an inner shift, a quiet surrender. And from that surrender, heaven begins to move. Angels are set into motion. Everything starts aligning with my will. You no longer need to struggle between two worlds. You only need to say, I am ready. And from that moment on, I will take care of the rest. I know exactly where you are in your spiritual journey. You do not need to express it in words, for I have already read every silent pause in your breath, every empty space within your half-formed prayers, every distant gaze where you wonder how to take the next step. Perhaps you find yourself standing at a crossroads between doubt and hope. Perhaps you feel stuck between a door that is closed and one that has yet to open. But I want you to pause right now and listen to me. When all the doors seem shut, that is when heaven is opening something new. Not every closed door is rejection. Some doors close because of my mercy. Some things you thought you lost were things I removed to protect you. I am not destroying your dreams. I am refining them. I am not denying your vision. I am aligning it with an eternal perspective. What you call failure, I call repositioning. What you call delay, I call preparation. What you call an ending, I call a new beginning, hidden beneath a layer of disguise. My beloved, I do not operate as man does. I do not measure success by speed or by numbers. I measure it by surrender. your willingness to lay what you love most upon my altar and declare, even though I do not understand, I still believe. I measure it by how you respond when your favorite door closes. Do you complain? Or do you worship? Do you desperately bang on that door? Or do you turn to me and ask, Father, is there something you are preparing that I have yet to see? My child, when every door is closed, do not let the silence dull your awareness of my presence. My silence is never absence. At times, it is in the prolonged stillness that I am shaping you in the secret place, where faith is no longer dependent on feelings but is forged into iron. In that silence, I can engrave truths upon your spirit that the noise of the world could never teach you. The doors of heaven do not open as earthly doors do. They are not open through status, reputation, or talent. They are open through humility, through faithfulness, through worship offered when no one else sees. They are opened by those who continue to sow even when they have not seen the rain, who continue to pray even when they have not yet heard the answer, who continue to stand firm even when the storms refuse to subside. You do not need a vast army. You do not need a flawless plan. You only need my presence, and that is more than enough. I am opening for you a door that I myself have prepared. It will not look like anything you have imagined, for it surpasses what your mind has conceived. This door will not simply change you, it will define you. It will bring clarity where once there was uncertainty. It will cause others to see you as I have always seen you. It will bring you into a place where only those who have endured the season of every door closed can stand. My beloved child, do not give up. Do not measure your present reality by counting the number of doors that have closed. Do not collapse at the threshold of what is past. Prepare to step through the door that I, your Lord, am now opening. Prepare to witness my glory in the very place that once seemed like the end. For when you stand in a room with no visible way out, I myself am the way. My child, you are standing in a destined moment where every step you take will no longer be a mere personal choice, but an eternal imprint. This is not just a crossroads in your journey, it is an intersection where the past is being purified and the future is being unveiled. I, the Lord your God, have prepared you for this very moment long ago. Every step, every tear, every time you felt delayed was never by chance. All of it has been part of the design I have crafted specifically for you. And now, as the fog of days past begins to lift, the light of a new vision is shining upon you. My child, before you enter the promised land, you must pass through the valley of decision. You must choose. Will you trust me? Or will you turn back? Will you place your hand on the plow or look behind? You can either continue living in the comfort zone that once sustained you in a former season, or you can boldly step into the new wind I am now blowing. It cannot be both. There is no in-between. There is no compromise in this new era. I know fear still tries to creep into your heart, fear of failure, fear of abandonment, fear of inadequacy. But my child, I did not call you because you are enough. I called you because I am enough. Fullness does not come from your abilities, but from the one who has sent you. Success will not come by your control, but by your surrender. You do not need to know every step. You only need to know that I go before you. Remember Moses, the man who stood before the Red Sea with a fierce army behind him. Before him was the impossible. Behind him, danger closing in. Yet in that moment, he did not retreat. He raised his staff in obedience to my word. He stepped forward, not because the waters had already parted, but because I had spoken, And as he moved by faith, the sea opened. The same will happen for you. You are not to wait until everything is clear to move forward. Rather, as you move by faith, clarity will come. You are in a season where emotions cannot be your compass. For emotions may waver, but my word stands forever. You must choose to trust my promise, even when your surroundings seem to say otherwise. My child, it is what I have spoken that will be the light guiding your path, not human opinions, not trends, not the noise of the age. Close your ears to the rumors and open your heart to my presence. I do not shout to compete with the world. I whisper to souls that know how to be still. You are standing before an open door that no one can shut. But to step through it, you must lay down the baggage of hesitation, the fear of failure, and the wounded memories. You cannot enter the new with a heart full of doubt. You cannot carry old voices into a new vision. What belongs to the wilderness cannot survive in the promised land. What was born in bondage cannot journey with you into freedom. My child, do not think this is just another cycle of change in your life. No, this is a restructuring of destiny. This is a transformation of the soul. This is where I am not only giving you a new path, but a new person. The old things will no longer define you. I am severing the invisible chains that once held you back. I am burying the inner voices that declared, you will never succeed. I am raising within you a new copt. My child, you must choose. Yes, you yourself. No one else can step through that door on your behalf. Not a loved one, not a teacher, not a friend, nor a spiritual mentor can make this decision for you. This is your personal appointment with destiny. This is the sacred hour your soul has longed for, even if you have not yet recognized it. So, lift up your eyes. Look beyond the cloud of doubt. Fix your gaze upon the one who is calling you forward. My arms are open, waiting for you. I have prepared everything. I have made ready the land for you. But this door will only open for the one who chooses to step in. Do not hesitate, for delay at a destined moment is itself a refusal of the calling. Step forward, and step with certainty, for when you choose to trust me, heaven will confirm it with signs and wonders, and because of this, you will never turn back again. My beloved, now that you have reached the very edge of the old season, I want you to pause and look back, not to dwell in nostalgia, but to perceive my hand. Look upon the journey behind you as one who studies the carvings on a tree that has weathered many storms. You will notice something strange. Every event, every tear, every broken relationship, even the seemingly unjust closed door soul of these were never beyond my divine arrangement. Each time you were pushed away from a door, it was not to reject you, but to protect you from what could not accompany you into the new land. You once wondered, why did it end so abruptly? But I say to you, you cannot carry what is finished into a chapter that has yet to be written. Closed doors are not meant to imprison you, but to guard against that which would defile your new season. There are people who are no longer permitted to walk with you. There are connections that must be laid to rest. There are things you once loved, but are no longer wholesome. And I, the one who loves you more than you love yourself, have shut them out before they could destroy what remains in you. Do not mistake the recent silence as abandonment. It is the quiet of the potter as he shapes the final form. You thought I had stopped working because you saw no movement on the surface. But in truth, I have been laboring in the deepest layers of your soul, places no one can reach. Places you cannot heal with mere words or reason. That is where I touch, peeling away the dry skin of old mindsets, dismantling the iron armor you donned out of past wounds, removing the heavy stones named fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of abandonment. And, my child, you are now lighter, not because life has become easier, but because I have taught you how to let go, and in that letting go, you have made room for the new. Now, you no longer need to drag the past behind you in order to prove anything. No longer must you strive for the approval of those who will never truly understand you. No longer must you force yourself to fit into molds crafted by others. I have set you free from that burden, so that you may grow into the true image I engraved in you from the beginning. This transformation, my child, does not come quietly. It comes with the roar of the soul, with the breaking apart of the old, with the birth pains of spiritual rebirth. That is why you feel disoriented. That is why what once brought joy now feels empty, because your soul is growing, and the old space can no longer contain your stature. Just as Joseph was cast into prison before being brought out to lead Egypt, you are now in the final stage of preparation, and though it is narrow, it is necessary. I am transforming your spiritual appetite. The things that once satisfied you no longer suffice. Empty promises can no longer comfort you. Old methods no longer operate in your current circumstances, for you are no longer who you once were. No one can step into a new season with an old mindset. No one can wear the garments of a slave in the throne room. I am removing the old layers within you, even as you cling to them out of fear of the unknown. But remember this, the new season does not require your perfection. It only requires your willingness. I am not seeking the strong. I am seeking the surrendered, not those who know every detail of the plan, but those who dare to say, though I do not know, I still believe. And because of that faith, you will see doors open, not just one, but many. Doors you once knocked on with tears will now open effortlessly in peace. Your transformation is not merely external change. It is a complete resetting of your destiny. You will no longer repeat old cycles. Spiritual loops are being broken. You will find yourself moving to a new rhythm, no longer torn by fear, no longer suffocated by false expectations, but flowing in the guidance of the Holy Spirit. I am restoring the divine flow within you. A new voice is being placed upon your lips. A new power is being poured into your hands, not because you were enough, but because I have chosen you. Therefore, do not resist this transformation. Do not cling to what is now out of season. Let every old door close with gratitude, for beyond those closed doors lies a vision greater than you have ever dared to hope for. Beyond the ending lies a magnificent beginning, and beyond the waiting lies the fulfillment of the promise. My beloved, as you stand at the threshold of complete transformation, remember this: what I am doing in your life does not end with you. Your life is a bridge between generations. What you choose today will become the foundation for those who come after you. This is why I allow great shakings to precede the unveiling of glory, not to punish you, but to ensure that the foundation you build upon will no longer be fractured. My glory does not rest upon broken domes. I do not pour new wine into old wineskins. Therefore, before the blessings are released, I must ensure that you are ready to receive without self-destruction. Many have prayed to step into greatness, but when glory arrived, they collapsed for lack of deep roots. But you are different. I have patiently dug deep within you. The years that seemed meaningless were the very years in which I quietly tilled, uprooted, and cleansed the soil of your spirit, so that now, when the rains come, the ground will not wash away but will bear fruit. You once thought that what I desired was results, but what I truly seek is faithfulness, not outward display, but obedience in the secret place, not just a season of vibrant rise, but a life of steadfast devotion. For the glory I am bringing is not for your boasting, but so that you might become a sure dwelling place for my presence. Yes, my child, you are not merely called to be a recipient of blessings. You are called to be a carrier of glory. When Moses built the tabernacle in the wilderness, he did not follow his own creativity. Every detail was commanded by the Lord. Every clasp, every edge was measured according to divine instruction. Why? Because that tabernacle would be the place where I would reveal my glory. And today, your body and spirit are that very temple. Every action, every decision, every surrender is a part of the sacred architecture through which I can fill you with myself without bringing harm to you. My child, do not take the small days lightly. Do not despise the nameless moments, the ones without spotlight, without applause. It is in the unseen places that I have trained you. It is along the quiet pathways that you have learned to walk by faith, and it is in the secret room where you shed tears unseen by others that I have placed boldness within you, so that tomorrow you may speak my words before the crowds without fear. You once thought the dry seasons were delays, but in truth, I used them to build discipline. You once believed loneliness was punishment, but truly, it was a season when I drew you near, that my voice might become the only familiar sound. Do not grieve because you are different from others. Do not regret not walking the paths they walk. I have set you apart, and that very set apartness is the clearest sign that you are chosen for something greater. Now, as I begin to open doors once shut, as I revive things that seem dead, I am not doing so merely to satisfy a passing desire. I do this because of a promise far beyond what you imagine. Everything that is rising in your life is not just to change your surroundings, your work, or your relationships. It is laying a firm foundation so that through you, many others will be impacted. Through your voice, many lives will find direction. Through the scars you once tried to hide, others will be healed. Do not be surprised when the final challenges come in waves. This is a sign that you are very near your spiritual breakthrough. The enemy strikes hardest when he knows he is about to lose. The darkness gathers thickest just before dawn. But I say to you, stand firm. Do not retreat. Do not let temporary delays cause you to doubt the eternal plan. You have come too far to give up now. You have endured too long to turn back now. And I promise you this, when you cross this threshold, you will no longer be the person you once were. The things that once brought you to tears will no longer bring you down. The places that once made you tremble, you will now enter with authority. And best of all, you will no longer live merely to survive. You will live to influence. You will live to give. You will live to shine. My beloved child, this is the moment I establish you. This is the hour when the hidden seasons bear fruit. This is the time when you rise not by your own strength, but by the anointing from heaven. And the world will know there is one who obeyed. There is one who believed. There is one who chose to follow the call from heaven, and that one is you. So step in, lift your head high, stretch out your hands. A new season has arrived. A door has been opened. A divine word has been spoken. And you, yes, you are the one I have chosen to receive this glory. Thank you for listening to today's message. Be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that together we may continue to receive the living word, build unshakable faith, and walk in the boundless love of the Lord. Amen.